Okay, perfect. Okay, welcome you guys to our very last call together on this Rise to Ruby series. We're going to go through just a few key points for today, and then I want to walk everybody through where we're going to kind of like work together on the business outside the box. So you can either stay on for that. I'm not going to record that part because Amber already has hers recorded. So you can either stay on and we'll work together today, or if you have to go, that's fine too. And you can just make time later today to do those DMOs yourself. We have 3 work sessions over the next 3 mornings, 9 a.m. I know for some people that time's not going to work. But really, it's just about reminding you to kind of tackle that every single day. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at. So I'm just going to pull up our final week together. So this week, I really want to focus on quantity getting us to quality. Okay. A lot of times in this industry, we start a few conversations and we kind of put all of our eggs in one basket with the 2 or 3 conversations, sometimes like 1 conversation that we have going with a prospective customer or associate. And then when that doesn't pan out, or when there's crickets, or when there's an objection, it can completely deflate us, right? Unmotivate us, get us stuck, all the things. So today we're really going to focus on, I've shared with you guys, I've been doing a mastermind series with Worre. This is based off of the training that he did with us yesterday. And it really resonated with me because this is exactly what I have been focusing on for the last couple of weeks. And honestly, you guys, it is lighting a fire in me. It is getting so many conversations started. So what we're going to, I want to remind you guys to always do your mindset check-in. If you haven't done your personal development yet today, make sure that you're putting aside, 15 minutes to do that, whatever that looks like for you, reading a couple of pages in a book, listening to a podcast, listening to a training, whatever that looks like. How are you strengthening your mindset? I just came off a really incredible call with Shana Robinson. And, she said during times of adversity or during times of challenges, whether it's challenges that are happening within the company or challenges that are happening within the economy or whatever it is, it's okay for your trust to waver on external things. Okay. So if you are, oh gosh, like shipping is so terrible right now, or whatever it is, I'm using an example. But it's not okay for your trust to waver in yourself and in your ability. And so that's where mindset comes in, right? Mindset, a lot of times I think people, when we use the term mindset, think, oh, that's just putting rose-colored glasses on. That's not what having a strong mindset is about. A strong mindset is about understanding that there's challenges and obstacles and things that are happening around us in our environment that we cannot control. But when we have a strong mindset, we believe in ourselves to be able to overcome those obstacles and still continue to build our business. So think about how you're responding to setbacks. How are you tackling challenging conversations each and every day? And what does that look like in your ability to continue to build your business? Okay, let's talk quantity. So quantity really does mean how many conversations do you have going on right now? So I want you to think about, you can either, take a few minutes right now, go back through your messenger, your text message, whatever, or if you want to sit down and do this later, that's fine as well. I want you to think about in the last week, how many people did you start a conversation with? Okay. And that's like, an inbox conversation, your messenger, a text, or in person. How many people? And it doesn't have to be business related. Okay. How many people did you talk to in the last week? Okay. And did that conversation keep going or did it end? So that's the other thing. I know we talked about this either last week or the week before, using questions, typically open-ended questions, because that keeps the conversation going, right? How was your trip? Oh my gosh, your kids are getting so big. Are they in any, what sports are they in, right? Those open-ended questions that continue to encourage dialogue when you are having those conversations. So at some point, I want you to take an inventory. I want you to really think about give yourself, a deep dive into how many conversations did you have over the last week, okay? So when we're looking at this, one of the biggest issues in network marketing, when we're feeling stuck, when we're feeling like we're not getting anything done, is that we really just aren't doing the things that we need to be doing. And sometimes we think we are, right? We're talking, oh my gosh, I was talking to people all day, when really in reality, we're talking to like the same 5 people, right? We're having those conversations with the same 5 people and we're not closing them and we're not leading, that conversation isn't leading to anywhere. So that's one of the biggest issues. So when we're talking about quantity leading to quality, the more conversations we have going, the chances of us, having that information land on somebody that leads to a bigger conversation about the products, about the business opportunity, is just that much greater, right? So when we have so many conversations going, the crickets and the objections and all of those things don't get us down. We should literally have so many conversations happening at one time that it's almost hard to keep track of. I'm going to show you my tracking system in just a minute as well of how I keep track of conversations. So this is a Sonara term. Don't make it weird, okay? In the next week, I want you to imagine that you have no business, okay? For just a week, I want you to completely put on the back burner that you have a business, okay? And this is, if you are having conversations going, if you're opening up dialogue with lots and lots of people, then you're past this already. But if you're still struggling with that, I want you to just think about starting human connection with people, okay? So ultimately, that's what social media is. That's why Facebook was created, is to network with people, to keep in touch with family and friends, to have those conversations. So we're going to look at a 2-step process, and then we're going to dive a little bit deeper into Amber's business outside the box to give you a bit more structure. Now, I promised you today we were going to incorporate it because I'm looking at this group of Rise to Ruby, and I want you to put yourself in one of 2 categories. Either right now you have broken through some kind of, you've had some sort of breakthrough, or you've broken through some sort of obstacle, personal limiting belief that you've put up, and you are getting really comfortable with making those connections. You just need a bit more guidance. If that's the case, we're going to dive a bit deeper into the business outside the box when we're done here. We're going to go step by step through it together. And then I want you to start incorporating that every single day, okay? Again, I'm not going to be recording that part because you can very easily go to the link that I'm going to provide you and just walk through it yourself if you're watching this recording. If you are still having almost like a mindset block, okay? You're finding it really like you want to vomit every time you think about reaching out, or you don't know how to reach out, or you don't know who to reach out to. You're going to put yourself in the second column, okay? And that's what I'm going to walk you through right here. We are going to do a 2-step process over the next week to try to finally get that breakthrough of you getting into people's inboxes naturally and getting into people's inboxes regularly, okay? So step 1 is, again, you're going to pretend you do not have a business this week, okay? For the next week, you are not going to have a business. On Sunday night, if you need a bit of a refresher for this, our level up call is going to talk all about this as well, okay? I just kind of gave the rundown to Crystal and Dawn, who's going to be running that call. So for the next week, I want you to imagine that I will personally pay you. I'm not going to, but I want you to imagine that I will personally pay you $1,000 for every conversation that you start with somebody and you keep going. So they have to at least respond once, okay? I want you to think about how much money are you going to earn this week, okay? If you're going to get paid $1,000 for every conversation, not business conversation, just a conversation, okay? Starting conversations is increasing your network. It is increasing your reach. It is increasing the people that are now seeing things in your feed. Every time you get into somebody's inbox, they are seeing things in your feed, okay? So how many Oh, that doesn't make any sense. So how many going it is are, oh, you want so many going. I gotta edit that slide. You want so many conversations going that it's going to be hard to keep up. Okay. And I'm going to show you my tracking system in a minute. Okay. So that is step one. Step two is going to be reviewing your social media for this past week. I want you to go back to the past week because last week we talked about social media. And I want you to think about how many times a day were you posting, okay? How many posts over the last week were entertaining? How many were educating? How many were engaging? And how many were empowering? And if you don't have in the last 7 days a minimum of 10 posts, okay, so 1 to 2 posts a day, you need to up your game. And here's why, okay? What you are going to do to basically amalgamate step one and step two together is by increasing your quality on social media and your quantity on social media, thinking about the 4 E's and alternating between it. Don't make it about business, okay? Remember, pretend you don't have a business. Every single person that engages on one of your posts, either a like, a heart, or a comment, you're going to message them, okay? You're going to get into their messenger box. So for example, say you post a really funny meme, okay? And you've got 5 people that heart it. You're going to get into their inbox and you're going to say, oh my gosh, you can even post the meme again in the inbox and say, oh my gosh, isn't this hilarious? It made me think of blah, blah, blah. How, and then you can, end with a question depending on who that is, okay? All right, you guys, before we do action items, I'm going to show you how I track. So if you are friends with me on Facebook, you probably saw that on Saturday morning. The other thing with tracking is I want you to not only track the conversations you start this week, but I also want you to track your social media. And the reason I want you to track your social media is because it's going to show you trends. And this is why you want to start posting more. It's going to show you when is the best time to post on your social media? When are you getting the most engagement? Are your people on social media like, at 9 o'clock at night? Or are they on social media early in the morning? So switch up the times that you are posting things and try to see some trends of when you're getting the most engagement. The second thing you want to track with your social media is what type of post is getting the most engagement, okay? If you post a recipe, so the recipe might be education, or it might be, you're empowering someone to make a meal at home. Is that getting a lot of engagement? If you are posting something about a poll, okay, you're like, hey guys, we're trying to decide between, going out east for our summer vacation or taking the kids to Florida. What would you, who chooses this, who chooses that, right? Give them 1 or 2 options. The best thing with a poll is, number 1, people like to give their opinions. And number 2, making it something where they can easily answer it. Okay. Like putting a 1, putting a 2, putting a 1, putting a 2, whatever that is. Okay. So what types of posts are getting the most engagement? So if you guys saw earlier Saturday morning, and I specifically did it on Saturday morning because what I've been noticing over the last couple of weeks is that my posts get the most engagement on Saturday mornings. Okay, people are just sitting there drinking their mojo or coffee or whatever if they haven't converted yet. So I did this post. You might have seen it. I'm excited. I'm going to be featured in this magazine. Quick question: which photo should I send them? Look at how many comments I got on this particular post, you guys, and how many likes and hearts. I literally went through every single comment and I pulled out, okay, half of those comments are mine because I responded to every single person who commented. But I pulled out of the 250 comments I had, I pulled out who was not currently with TurnUp, who was not currently showing anything on their, I went to their profile if I didn't know who they were to see if they had anything turned on their profile. And then what I did is I created a part of my funnel, okay? And I'll pull this up for you guys to show you. I put everyone's name here, okay? And then I made some notes. I gave myself a goal of reaching out to 50 people yesterday, and then I'm reaching out to the other, I think 49 today, okay? And then I kept track. So what was my reach out? Well, honestly, my reach out was thank you so much for your vote on the Prosper Magazine picture. Number 6 was the winner. And then I added in a little something personal. I really appreciate your support. Oh my gosh, how are the kids doing? Or, oh my gosh, I see that you went on a vacation recently. How was it? What was the weather like? Okay. Then I have been keeping track. Have they seen it? Have they reacted? And I've set a goal for follow-up as well. Okay. So that's where the two are going to marry together. You're going to start these conversations. They're not going to be business focused. You're not trying to sell anything. You're not trying to do anything at all. And though, if you are struggling with who to start conversations with, or, how to start a conversation, up your social media game and land in those inboxes, because right off the bat, the conversation can start from whatever that post was that they engaged with. Okay. Does that make sense? I know there's only 2 of you guys, or 3 of you guys on today. Neil's here too. Okay. All right. So really quickly, you guys, we're going to finish up this, and then we'll move into the business outside the box. So you're now a graduate of the Rise to Ruby series. Congratulations. Okay. What are your next steps though? You might think, okay, it's only been 4 weeks. I'm starting to get a little bit of traction. My confidence is growing. I've got a little bit of momentum going as far as what I'm doing every day. But if we're not going to meet every week, Wendy, what do I do now? Well, number 1, I want you to set Sunday nights aside for the level up call every week. Okay, that is a great way to plug in, get some quick training. If you are not in our More in 24 group yet, where we share all of the power hours, if you want to be added, just let me know. I can make sure you're in that group. It really and truly is just where we're sharing the power hours that are available to give you more connection with leaders and that sort of thing. But really and truly, your next steps are basically to wash, rinse, repeat. So everything that we've talked about in the last 4 weeks is your foundation of your business. It's your foundation of your daily method of operation. Okay. Your business is going to be built on doing the small things, but doing those every single day. And that's where this business outside the box is going to come in really handy as well. So when you're feeling stuck, take action. When you're feeling unmotivated, take action. When no one is responding to you, start a new conversation. Okay. You get up in the morning, you're like, literally, you guys put 30 minutes aside and take some sort of action in your business. It will light a fire in you. I guarantee it. Okay. Okay. I'm going to stop this recording, and then we're going to take a peek at the